Hey y'all, happy Monday. Well, welcome back. Okay, so still kind of slow-mo on the outside garden, and I got my seedling tray all set up to plant seeds, but I didn't have any tags. I didn't really want to buy any tags. So that's one of the things I'm going to show you today is how I made some DIY tags. And in the end, I really think I probably do need a little permanent marker like a fine tip, but otherwise I'm super excited about all the plant tags I made. In addition to that, we're going to see a little bit of a tour, and we're also going to see kind of the process of me taking down the Tepary beans, getting them shucked off the plant, and kind of our little mediocre success with that. So check it out. Today, we're going to harvest these Tepary beans, and you can see there's a blend of brown pods and green pods, and the easiest way to harvest these is really to just come down to the bottom and just cut all the plants off at the base, and then I'm going to transfer everything over to a piece of tarp and show you that in a minute. So now I've moved everything over here to the tarp, and now this will make it easier for me to shake off all these beans and get them harvested. So from just kind of going along and picking off pods to just kind of harvest while I'm doing nothing, I've got this many seeds. So let's see how many we can get after we harvest all of this. Okay, so I got everything cleared off, all the vines. These are all my dried pods, and these are kind of a second generation of green ones that still need to dry out. So I'm going to lay these flat and leave them outside. And I'm going to go crack all these open and add them to my jar. So there's a little Tepary bean harvest for us. Okay, so here's a quick look at bed one. There's not a ton of change. We've got collard greens down here. That's collard. That's a sprouting broccoli caprese. Those purple ones are kohlrabi, and then the kale over there. So I'm about to a solution for changing out this bed, so some of these things may just get harvested, but some will probably get moved to a new location. Meanwhile, the mint is super happy. This big area here kind of maybe looks like it's all weeds, but there's really only a little bit of weeds over there. The rest of this is nasturtia and calendula that self-seeded from last year, so I'm super excited to see this fill up with flowers. The strawberries just got uncovered today from a big couple of cool overnights, so after tonight I'm probably going to uncover it for a week or two completely, just to let it get some good sun. Over here the peas are happy, and so are the edible flowers. So now the peas are up to about the second rung, and we're excited about seeing some flowers soon. We've also got calendula volunteering here in the grass, and we're in love with all the calendula over here that just kind of keeps self-seeding itself. So this is all new stuff coming in, and if you look down in here, these seeds just dry up on the plant and then they fall back down into the dirt and they make more flowers. And these are wonderful medicinal flowers. I'm going to make a salve soon and talk to you more about all the healing benefits of calendula. There's a couple of just reseeded from last year cosmos, but the rest of this is nasturtia that will really fill out and look really pretty once it starts to bloom, and then it'll be in the shade over here for a little while, so it'll get to stay happy longer than in some of the other spots. The broccoli hasn't started. Well, in a couple of places I see some side shoots coming along, but if we don't have real action by the time my next round of seedlings are ready, then these are just going to get eaten for their leaves. Meanwhile, the Brussels sprout is just going wild, making cute little Brussels sprouts. So we're so excited and thrilled about these little babes. Now that the beans are gone, we're going to come in and fill in this little blank space with some more edible flowers, probably some more nasturtia and calendula. Let that fill in real good. And this bed over here is still just plugging along. Lots of beautiful greens. We keep harvesting The mustard greens, such a spicy little fun thing to put on a sandwich. And this one cauliflower that got planted over here made this tiny head. So that's cute in all of its cuteness. And lastly, this happy little bed over here is just my happy place now. All that red romaine, I'm ready to come make a salad. The cilantro is starting to get a good flavor. The dill is coming in good. I'm ready to see this spinach just blow up. So this is my little happy place. So this weekend I got my 50 seed tray set up with my starter mix. I kind of vamped it up a little bit and added some kelp meal to it, but I don't have any tags and I don't want to just plant the same thing 50 times. I want to plant a bunch of different things in that tray. So, and I'm tired of buying labels for the garden because everything from popsicle sticks to the plastic things that you buy just don't work. So I've got an idea and I'm going to share it with you today. Everybody knows I love vinegar, and this is an empty vinegar bottle, and I think this is going to be my solution. I'm going to cut this up and make plastic labels out of it. And I think this is going to be better than like a milk jug because it's smooth and it's going to let me write on it. So I'm going to rinse this out and share this process with you of making some of my own garden tags. So now I've got my vinegar jug and I've rinsed it out a couple times, but I'm not totally worried about vinegar being in there. So I'm just going to get this label off. And then I think the first thing I'm going to do is cut this top part off so that I can dry that inside out before I start making my big cuts. And I'm definitely going to save this because this makes an awesome funnel if you don't know. So definitely we'll be saving this and using probably all parts of this container. So now, like I said, it's wet and that's going to make it not fun to cut. So I'm just gonna go ahead and rinse the inside out just to make it easier to hold and safer to cut. So now I've got this nice, I don't know, that's probably almost 6 inches or so. So that's gonna give me about the perfect size tags that I want, especially for my seed tray, because the seed slots are only about that big. So if I want my tag to come out a little bit more than that, but not stick up super high because it's a seedling tray and I also need room for my light to hang down. So now I'm going to take off this bottom lip here, which this will probably make a good little thing for like a plant to sit down in. Probably one of my seedlings, so I'm definitely going to keep it as well. So I'm going to just get me another hole started. Boom. So now I've got something that'll hold a little plant and catch its drainage water. Now I've got a ring here and I'm just gonna, it's got like a little seam here. I'm just gonna use that as my guide and make a flush cut along here. Boom. Okay, so now, and I'm gonna dry it just one more time because there's still kind of some dampness in there. I wonder if I can fold this over just to kind of give me an idea of my halfway point without having to measure. Okay, now that's kind of even. So let's get cutting. Okay, now I have 2 pieces. So now I'm going to go along and make some divots. So now I've got little kind of stake edges all along the bottom, and they're not uniform or perfect. I got crazy off right there. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come and cut a straight line kind of right into that V. So maybe it'd be better if I went this way. That way I don't miss the V. So these aren't perfect, they're not uniform, but I think they're gonna do a great little job for me. So even though I didn't make you watch all of that, it really took me like less than 5 minutes to cut the jagged edges on to the bottom of this piece. So don't think, geez, get a life. And here's my one wonky one that got kind of weird, but I think I could probably still use that. I mean, it'll just go in funny. So let me get the rest of these off here. and then I'll show you how I'm going to label them and write on them. After I got to work on this one, I really discovered that it was easier. When I started the first time, I was kind of doing this kind of cut, but it was easier on my hand. It was just as fast to just go along and make uniform little triangles that I can just come in and pull off now. And that was a lot easier than trying to keep it even going like that in and out. So then we just have little triangles left, and I'll cut this one up in a minute. Now, my next thought process on this is kind of a wonky one, so I'm gonna use it for practice. The thing with tags is, like, the popsicle sticks were great. You know, we could write on them with the permanent marker and it didn't really fade, but because of the awesome biome in my soil, the soil would basically eat the popsicle stick and then it would break off at the top of the soil and it would be gone. And I'm not really that concerned about having these stakes or whatever in the garden to help me. It's more with these seedlings that I'm going to be kind of growing all in one single flat. So my idea is that, you know, even ink pen is going to, you know, fade away over time, but I think that just, you know, writing on these. So my thought process was that a pen that doesn't really even have any ink in it was going to make an impression on here that I can see, and I can see it when I'm up close to it, and I can kind of see it when I bend it, and I think that should give me just enough of a reference point for what's there, and the impression's not going to go away no matter how many times I water it. So I think I'm going to try this out and see how this works. And the other cool thing about it is once I pull the seedlings, I can either update this with something else a little bit more sturdy, or I can just move this right over into the next container that the plant goes to. So like I said, when I turn it in the light, and I think over there, especially under the grow light, it'll be easier to see as well. But this is basically going to cost me no money, and it's going to give me a way to get over this hump of needing to get these seeds in this starter tray and needing some kind of tag to tell me what they are. You might be into making some of your own planters. Let's see how many I got. So I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26 out of that. So if there's 26 here as well, that's going to be like 52 plant labels that I got from just recycling my vinegar container, and I buy these constantly, so there's really no excuse for me not to find a way to reuse this plastic instead of just putting it into the recycling and letting the city take care of it. So that's my little DIY tagging solution for my seedlings. All right, well, I hope that short little video was a little bit interesting for you. I'm so excited to get some seeds going and some other things planted so that we can see some cool stuff. But for right now, we're just kind of working through some projects, getting some plans made, and I hope you're doing the same thing. So let me know what you thought about that little DIY for plant tags, and if you've got some cool tip that is something that I could reuse around the house, definitely let me know that. Otherwise, I hope you have the best day ever, and I'll look forward to chatting with you again soon.